Hi, my friend. This is a quick heads up to today's podcast. It's all about the saying, winners never quit, quitters never win. And basically just dispelling it right out of the water, but using it as something to provoke thought, and also going into how to create a winning mentality. Because when you have that mindset of a winning mentality, success has to be your outcome. And that's what I know he wants for you, and I know I want that for you. So have a listen. If you enjoy it, please do a couple of things. Let him know. He's on Twitter and has got an email address, which he'll tell you about later. But also, share with all your friends. It'd be great to share it. I know it's an effort and I know you forget. But if you could just share it with all your friends, and also share it with the people who aren't necessarily your friends, because, we want everyone to succeed, don't we? And they'll really be your friends for doing that. So please do that. But in the meantime, don't stop here. Have a listen.
Hello, and I'm here by duty and honour of my country to warn you you're entering into the personal space of Personal Development Unplugged, and it may seriously, make your life so much better. Thank you.
Hey, just a quick introduction of what Personal Development Unplugged is all about and what I'm all about. My name's Paul Clough. I'm a hypnotherapist, an NLP trainer. I train people in hypnosis and, mind coaching and all that stuff. But really, this podcast is all about personal development. And the world of personal development, I think, has got far too complicated. It's been made by people trying to make it more complicated, just so, I think, to make them, look good. And I want you to look good. So I'm breaking down those processes into simple forms, simple processes that you can use right now. And there's a wealth of information here. There's a large number of podcasts. There's a smaller podcast, the 5-minute quickie, and the longer podcast, which lasts about 20 minutes. So if you're new here, do dive in, go all over the place. And most importantly, as we like this, call it the family or the unplugged posse, or whatever you want to call it, posse, where did that come from? Do share with all your friends, because if we share all of this into the this integrated field of learning, the whole world becomes a better place. And that's what I'd like for you, to live in a better place and be the change you want to see in others by being the change you want to be for yourself. Because you'll be amazed when you do that, how far the ripples of change go. You really will be amazed. Anyway, have a listen. That's me gone on far too long. Let's get on with Personal Development Unplugged podcast. A long time ago, when I was very young, my father, he put me on his knee and said, "Boy, I want to tell you a thing that will guide you through the rest of your life." And I said, "Pappy, please tell me, Pappy, what's going to guide me through the rest of my life?" And Pappy said to me, "Quitters never win, and winners never quit. But sometimes," and I've gone into a posh voice there, didn't I? I don't know why we spoke like that, because we came from Yorkshire in the UK, and they don't speak like that at all. But hey, quitters never win, and winners never quit. I heard that being dispelled a little while ago by entrepreneurs. And it was all about the hustle. And that was dispelled so quickly. But isn't that the buzz about being an entrepreneur and doing your best? All you've got to do is hustle. Never give up. Never give up. The thing is, have you ever felt like a loser? Have you ever felt like a winner? Maybe it'd be interesting to look, what is the difference? What's the difference between a loser and a winner? And is there a difference? Because in my books, sometimes a loser can become the winner, and a winner can lose and still win. Now, this isn't playing with words. in hypnosis, trying to confuse you and get you into a different way. No. You see, in sport, there are winners and losers. And, when you go into a competition, you know that someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. But even, maybe, I remember when I used to play squash a long time ago, I always tried to find somebody who was better than me. And yes, I lost every blooming game, but they were never that much better than me. They were always just in bloody, I could nearly get there. And you know what? My game got better and better. Now, I don't know if their game got better and better because they were better than me. But I think because we were close enough, I pushed them to get better themselves. But if they were a great deal better than me, what would they get? They're a winner, but they've just gone through the motions, haven't they? They didn't stretch themselves. So really then the loser is the winner because they've stretched, they've learnt something new about themselves, and they get to measure their improvement. So that's winning, isn't it? When you improve. Yes, you lost that competition, but your improvement is the thing. Where you were a little while ago compared to where you are now. And then that thought of, I'm going to keep improving. Wow. But then let's go back to this thing about quitters and winners and the hustle. I even saw something on some Facebook thing saying, if you want to win, you've got to hustle. You've got to work 10 to 18 hours on your business and just keep going and going and going. Yeah, sometimes you do, but not just blindly working like that. Because I think that's what, it infers sometimes. This hustle mentality is you just go for broke. Now, what does that tell you? Go for blooming broke. And that's what some people do. They actually don't see the wall coming at them before it goes bam, and they lose everything. Yeah, and some people get up, and it's how you get up, I know. And they can make a fortune. They can succeed. They become the winner because of that experience. But that's the whole point. It's because of that experience they've learnt. Now, but real entrepreneurs, real people who succeed at losing, they learn to make plans. They measure what's happening. And we'll go through that a little bit later, how you can do that yourself. We've done it before, and I'll remind you. But you see, a lot of people have backup plans. So if this doesn't work, they'll do this. And then if that doesn't work, they'll do this. They're thinking. Yeah, they're hustling. They're putting all their effort in that direction of getting what they want, their goal, their dream. But they've got plans that they can be flexible enough to change because they know things aren't going to be just putting the effort in, you'll get your rewards. Because sometimes, if you're in the wrong direction, man, you're in the wrong bloody direction. Sometimes by going in the wrong direction, you find something completely brilliant. But that sometimes is just what happens. It's like Edison finding out 10,000 times how not to make electricity, or the light, or whatever he did, but he learned lots of other things. And it's really learning when to quit is how to become a winner. So you get to a particular point, you have, I know I have had these wonderful intuitions. There was a wonderful website I was going to do, and it seemed such a brilliant idea. I don't know why anybody hadn't thought about it. I know now because it was rubbish. But at that particular time, my heart overruled my head. And it was such a wonderful idea. And guess what? Serendipity, I looked to see if a domain name would suit, and that was free. So that must be right. And I then created the website. And then I did loads of other stuff. And what happened with it? Nothing. Now, I could have gone on and spent more and more time on this and more time on it. But if I'd looked earlier, probably I would have seen, yeah, it's worth looking at, worth planning, worth getting the data on it, and then seeing what to do. And there was a great guy I heard a long time ago who says, I create 8 companies a day, and generally I dissolve 8 companies a day. And I'm thinking, well, that's a bit weird, and that's not very responsible. But actually, it was really responsible because he created those companies in his head. He would then go through, all the information he needed. He found the data, he found his plans, he worked out whether it is going to work or not. And if it didn't work in his head, then he would quit on that particular plan and put his efforts into the next one. And the next one. This guy, by the way, created one or two companies that were absolutely mega, but he quit the other ones in his head. So, was he a quitter or a winner? I think you can, when you learn and you regroup, yes, you can go into real success. Because you see, you hear all these success stories, how this person did this, and they are great stories that motivate you, that give you that, yeah, I want to do that. But the thing is, are you just listening to the tip of the iceberg? And everything below the surface is all the people who got really burnt. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go for stuff, whatever it is, entrepreneur in business, or whether it's being an entrepreneur in yourself. Yeah, I want you to go for stuff. But all I want you to do is think of something. Think in a way that allows you to hustle, but hustle in the things that you spend 80% of your hustle on 20% of the things that give you 80% of your rewards. It's the old 80-20 principle, and it really does just seem to work. So this is what I want you to think about. Let's forget this winners always win and quitters never win and all that rubbish. Let's look at the things that we really want. Let's look at our personal development. It's a good place to start, isn't it? That's where we are. Personal Development Unplugged. Yeah, that's us. So where's a good place to quit and become a winner in your personal development? No? Can't think about it? Well, I've had a little think. I know you can think of something. But here's one. Wouldn't it be, how many of you procrastinate? We love, I always procrastinate before this and that. And some people can be so proud of their procrastination. That's a bit weird, I think. They never procrastinate on procrastination. So don't get that. But wouldn't it be great to quit procrastination? You'd become a winner then, wouldn't you? What would happen if you quit being anxious, depressed, worried? Hey, what would happen if you quit that? Because you'd find a better way, wouldn't you? I go through that on my Free Your Life of Anxiety program on paulcloughonline.com. Have a look at it. It's free. Most of it is completely free. Test it and see if it's just right for you. If it is, it's going to be brilliant for you. But anyway, that's beside the point. In the way that we're quitting on negative emotions. What about quitting on your fears? If you quit on your fears and then started doing the stuff that you really wanted to enjoy, wouldn't you become a winner? But the thing is, when you quit on that, you then don't quit on life because you carry on. So winners and quitters doesn't really work, does it for you? Or doesn't work for me anyway, because I just want you to make a real decision. What you could do, which is a winner, is create a winning mentality. Yeah, that's a bit different, isn't it? A winning mentality. And a winning mentality means, I believe, you've got all that inner confidence. Oh, that's another program I'm doing. But no, you've got all that inner confidence, competence, and you do win. But you look at it subjectively. You look at it with alternatives, with plans, with measures. You've got a goal and you've thought about it. You don't just go blindly ahead on the hustle. No, you hustle like mad, having thought about, you hustle at your plans. You hustle at your alternatives. You hustle at all the things, you decide. And when you make those decisions, you become at cause. We've talked about cause and effect. So you're no longer on the effect side of life, such as procrastination, anxiety, depression, sadness, fear, guilt, hurt, all that stuff. You decide to go back at the cause and become responsible for these goals. That's a winner because you've decided to quit. This is all very weird about winners and quitters. But it's getting those plans, spending time. You see, I know there's that one, it's wonderful in that it's so simple. And some people go, oh no, it's a SMART goal. And you go through that. And there's so many different ways that you can go through that. It's simple, it's measured, it's achievable, it's reliable. No, it's realistic and it's timed. Or you can get other bits like that. But just thinking about that, and then what would happen if it didn't? And you see, then you can go deeper into the NLP achievement of a goal and outcomes, an achievable outcome. When you start to think about, your intention. What do you really want and why? Where's the passion? What will you lose when you get this goal? Because when you do this stuff, yeah, you will lose stuff. And that's not being a loser or a quitter, but sometimes you can lose like the procrastination, anxiety, fears, but sometimes you lose friends along the way because you change. You don't have to, but you have to think about it. And if you did, how can you mitigate that? What are the things you're going to gain? I mean, some people, when they go this way and they want, you get things like the pop stars, people in the music and film stars and all this stuff. They want that fame so badly. And that's the thing they'll get. So the fame, what are they going to lose? Privacy. And they have to be at peace with that or mitigate to know how to do it. And there's that 5 steps of success is what I was talking about. They're not secret, by the way. We don't do secrets here. But the 5 steps of success which is really knowing your outcome, knowing what you want, and then taking inspired action, massive inspired action. And then being aware of where you are as you go towards that goal. That's like that measuring thing, your direction. And if you're not on target, if there's an obstacle in the way, then you have to be flexible to go around, above, find that mitigation. Plan B, C, D. And then when you're doing all of that, you do it from a physiology and psychology of excellence. Act as if. Now that to me is that winning mentality. And when you start practicing that with your goals, you'll know what to quit, you'll know what to gain, you'll learn. Man, the difference is going to be, well, I don't know how big of the difference will be, because that's when you put that hustle in. You put the effort in, because now you've worked out that you can do it. It's achievable, it's realistic. All I have to do is set my goal, set my intention, get my, physiology and psychology of excellence in line. Be totally competent and confident. That's that supreme inner confidence I was telling you about. That's why it's important to me, and that's why I'm doing the program on it. 3/4 of the way through now. But that's what it's all about. And you see, when you do all of that, what is the difference between winners and losers? To me, you can, back into the NLP world, you can model someone. So you can model winners and model losers. But you see, sometimes a lot of people just call them losers, but the people who failed, who didn't quite get there. And they want to know what went wrong. Now that's great. This is what may go wrong. And you can mitigate for it. But hey, model the person who succeeds. Because they've mitigated as they went along and they've found those steps. So I think you need to model both. Model both the people who succeeded and the people who got a different result. That's the thing. Because when you do that, you can then go, do you know what? I can do this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to get there. And I'm going to hustle like a good one. I think that's what we'll say instead. And then when you do all of this together, you can't lose. You can't lose, because winners and quitting doesn't make any difference. You just can't lose. Which means if you can't lose, you must succeed. And my little meta description of all of this, is basically there's always a different way to look at it. So when we take these little statements, and they are sometimes they've got some wisdom in there of a sort, but they're not. You can always look at it from 2 sides. But what can we find out when we examine those 2 sides? Maybe we do a little bit of deep thinking, because all of this ramble that I'm doing now all came from listening to 2 people talking about quitters never win and winners never quit, and hustling as entrepreneurs. And, that used to be the norm. People believed in that. They believed in it without thinking. And now I know that you're better than that. In as much as you think, you're discerning. You must be, because you're listening here. Or what an old rubbish ball that is. But no, let's just think about what you really want. That's what it comes to. And then look at it a different way. Start from the end. Make sure it's what you want first, because so many people have goals. I want to do this. I want to have this. But they don't really experience it before getting it. I talk so much about the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And that's so much in a lot of my programs now, because I want you to feel what the success of that goal, that dream would feel like if you had it right now. Because sometimes it's not what you thought it was. And the thing about that is then we mitigate it, we change it. The other thing is it may be better than you thought about. And that makes it even more motivating. And then what? If it's even more than you thought it could be, and then you increase it even more, how can I make it even more better? I always say on my feeling of the wish fulfilled, this or something better. So we're telling our unconscious mind where we want to go. And you put this all together, and that's the whole point of, Personal Development Unplugged, this podcast. If you can go back through all the back numbers, the back catalogue, there are so many different parts of a jigsaw puzzle that you can pull together. They'll all work together. Doesn't matter how you fit it together, they will all work. So I do encourage you to have a flick back and just randomly click on one and have a listen. And the thing about that is, what I tend to find is when I click back into my old things, even I re-listen to some of them, and also when I reread books, I find stuff that I didn't realise was there. We've talked about that before, because now we're a different person. We know certain stuff, so we can let that go and we see the difference, see other stuff that's going to inspire us even more. So what I want for you is to, basically just succeed. Set your goals. Look at your dreams. Make them bigger, brighter, bring them closer to you, and then feel that feeling of the wish fulfilled, and then begin to plan with a hustle. Put all your energy into the planning, and then take massive inspired action. Bam! And all those other steps. Man, when you do that, then you can be the person we're going to model. The model of the person who succeeded. And if you're the type of person I think you really are, you would share that in this integrated field of learning, which is what it's all about, isn't it? When you share what you've learned, you're a teacher, and you're also an example, a prime example of what can be achieved. And then you become one of those 20% of success stories, where the 80% is below the line of the iceberg. But the thing is, that iceberg then starts to raise out of the water because we're now sharing and teaching and getting people to become the success stories that we know they can be. Hey, we got all group hug time. Come on. Anyway, please have more fun than you can stand. Love every heartbeat. Enjoy every heartbeat. And, let's leave this world better than we first met it, and the people we also met in it. Leave them in such a good place. That's what it's all about. So until next time, live, as some person once said, with passion. Bye-bye now.
Hello, darlings. Just a little word from our sponsor. Do have a listen, because I think you'll find something really interesting. Okay?
Hey, I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time, but I did want to just remind you that paulcloughonline.com is my alternative website where you can have or access personal development programs and hypnosis tracks that are, they're not available on this iTunes podcast. They are for sale. They do have money back guarantees, so you've got nothing to lose. And this is what helps this program of personal development to survive, really, because that's the only sponsor I have is this website. And I think the programs are really quite exceptional as well. And I've done it in such a way that you can test everyone for nearly a week and make sure they're right for you. And the one thing is, if you sign up for the anxiety course, there's a real massive discount on 2 hypnosis tracks. They come together and it's all about deep relaxation, a longer version, and then when you get real emotional, physical relaxation and you get into it, there's a shorter version that allows you to use it at any time in the day, so you can have that instant relaxation and then get on with the rest of the day. It's like a recharge, a reset. I'm really excited about all of those, but there's other stuff on there as well, so please do have a look and enjoy. Anyway, here's the very last word, promise. Hey, as always, just before you go, just a little reminder, I am on Twitter at pcluffy, and I'm also got obviously my email address, paul@paulclough.co.uk. Please do let me know how you enjoy this particular podcast and all the others. And again, if you do it now, do that sharing, because sharing is, can't do any better than that. and it's free, so come on, let's share it around. And if you, well, want to have a look at some of my other work, please go to paulcloughonline.com. There's a couple of really good hypnosis tracks, or I think they're pretty good, and also my Free Your Life of Anxiety program. And there'll be other programs coming on shortly. I've got a new one, Supreme Inner Confidence. But that'll be coming on shortly, and I'll tell you about that. But in the meantime, just enjoy. But if you could share, time now to do it. Okay. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Personal development, unplugged.